Durag Diaries. And I can't lie. I think I might be jealous of Newcastle. I'm actually jealous of Newcastle. Because, yeah, they're getting rejected. They are being rejected a lot. But they're actually going out there and trying to get the business done. They're actively getting new players. They've been rejected by Sesko, and we're seeing today Johan Wissa pushing now to join Newcastle as negotiation between clubs are underway. Brentford are working on another deal behind closed doors to facilitate Wissa's exit, but Wissa wants Newcastle. But not just that. We then see Plettenberg to drop this. Newcastle have opened negotiations with Randall Kolo Muani. The 26-year-old is now high on Newcastle's shortlist after their move for Benjamin Sesko fell through. While Newcastle are exploring other options, Kolo Muani is a concrete target. Contract with Paris Saint-Germain valid until 2028. But not just there. We also got this news off the back of an exclusive. It was more to say that Bayern have made inquiries, but Newcastle are also seriously interested in Nicholas Jackson. So yes, they have been rejected a few times. There's been a few players, or more than a few. I can't lie. It's been a lot. But you got to see it like this. There's two types of guys in a club. This is my analogy that I can tell you. There's one guy that sits in the corner, arms folded, eye contact over with 100. He's got making eye contact with everyone just in the corner. Yeah, a couple waves, a couple hellos, but doesn't actually make no moves. Then you got another guy that's out there putting in work, doing the nitty gritty. Yeah, he's been rejected bare times, going up to every gal, but he's going to score a couple times. He's going to get a few numbers. And that's how I'm looking at this. Tottenham's the girl, or the guy, sorry, that just sits there looking from the sidelines, just watching everything that's happening. Being like, yeah, man, inquiring, shortlisting, thinking that you're looking good from the sidelines. Your scoring rate is every now and then. You might get a worldie, but they're few and far apart. But Newcastle right there they're getting work, see. These men are actively trying to solve their problem. At least they're trying. They are trying. They have a striker problem. They know that Isak is going to be leaving them. They've accepted this. They've accepted their fate. And they're trying to actively go and recruit a new player or two to replace the goals that he gave to them last season. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Action Jackson. I don't want Action Jackson near Tottenham. I've said it. I'll go mad. Swapping Richarlison for Jacko makes no sense. It makes no sense. But when you're talking about Wissa, that's a player that I'm jealous of. He wants to go Newcastle. We should be pushing for him. Does Frank not have the pull? I don't know. It's just like, why can't you bring one of these players to us? You couldn't get Mblomo, cool. You couldn't get Norgard, cool. But can you not at least go get me a Wissa? Now, there might be a case to say that Daniel Levy and Tottenham are not giving him the funds to get these deals done. But Newcastle are going to get these deals done, and they are going to solve their issue. I think if you sign Wissa and another player, you are going to solve that goal scoring problem. Wissa scored 19 non-penalty goals last season all by himself. If you get a Wissa and a Muani, you've got two players who are very different, but also have a lot of similarities that they can play on the wing. They're more inside forwards. Both Kolo Muani does have the aerial threat as well as that threat in behind goal with blistering pace, but also Wissa, he's got a great finish on him, arrives late on into the box and has got some good movement as well. So you've got two players there who you could probably pick up for under 100 million, probably about 80 million together, if we're being honest. And that's me pushing and inflating fees slightly. But for 80 million together, so the price of one of that of Sesko, and you're probably getting two players that are going to score more goals. Probably getting two players going to score more goals. And I'm looking at my team now, who have lost Harry Kane 3 years ago, and we haven't replaced his goals. We've got two strikers that we spent 130 million pounds on. And neither of them are good enough to get us 20 goals. Together, they can't get us 20 goals, let alone all by themselves. So we now have to swallow the pill, bite your tongue and say, we need to upgrade. We need to do something about it. But not just Kane. What about Sonny? The player who over the last 4 years consistently got 20 GA across all competitions. A player who yet again we are failing to replace. We're failing to go out there and get a player of that quality. Go and get a star left winger. We need someone to take the mantle of that number 7. Someone who's going to lead this team forward, who's going to take us back to the top to compete. And we're doing nothing about it. We're twiddling our thumbs. We're doing absolutely nothing. This is what Newcastle's speaking.
That's the difference between me and you. Because while you were sitting around, waiting, doing niche, I was out making moves.
That's what Newcastle fans can say to me now. Because whilst we're sitting around doing nothing, niche, they're outside. They're making moves. It's madness. It's madness. I just can't believe that Spurs are sitting back and just watching this transfer window, feet up. We're sitting, it's like we're sitting on our porch like an old man, feet up, just watching everything going on. They're just watching the cars go by, watching all the little kids. We're just monitoring. Spurs are monitoring everyone. We're monitoring the situation of Jackson. We're monitoring Rodrigo. We're monitoring, Liao. We're inquiring for El Canus. He's 20 bloody million, and we're inquiring. He's got a release clause, Spurs. You didn't have a problem when you didn't want to inquire for Morgan Gibbs-White. Didn't want to inquire. You wanted to speak to his agents and slap the money down for that release clause. But now, when it comes to El Canus, it's like, yo, let's inquire. Now, I'm not saying these are players I want, but I am desperate. We are desperate. Forget me. Spurs, all of us, our fans are desperate. The club is desperate. Maddison is on the sidelines for 7 months. We will not see him return until at least that of April. Maybe May. If we're lucky, March. If we're lucky. Kulusevski is not going to be back until at least October. At least if we're lucky. So we've seen in these last couple games that we have no creative function. None. Bergvall tried to do what he could against Bayern Munich, but there's only so much he can do. That's not his forte. He's not a number 10. Thar can only do so much. He's not his forte. He's not a number 10. So there's only so much that these players can do. That Frank can do with these players under these circumstances. But we need something. Newcastle are doing business. And as much as I've laughed at them, as much as I've said they're not a big club, if there's one between us that are acting like a big club, it's definitely them. I'll be honest. It's definitely them that are acting like a big club. They're going out there trying to spend some money. They're trying to make something happen for their team. They're trying to not embarrass their fans. While Spurs continually embarrass us, continually make a joke out of us, continually make us pay the most for our shirts, for our tickets, for our drinks at the stadium, for our food. They take us for idiots. We're being run for idiots. And yes, I've been hearing that there might be a protest, but that protest might be too late. It might be too late. We should have done another protest in the summer. Yeah, the energy was good. Yeah, the vibes was good. We thought there was going to be change. They told us that there was change. Peter Charrington, change. Vinay Venkatesham, change. Daniel Levy's going to be less involved. Change. Change my back, but the only change we get is the one that we get back from our players. Pennies, fam. Giving us a few pennies and we're going to chuck it in the transfer market. We don't even know what our budget is. We have confidence that it will be available. Jokers, man. Spurs are just jokers, I'll be honest. We're the laughing stock right now. The laughing stock of the transfer window. Because we're just sitting around doing nothing. Sitting around, watch our team burn away. And I'll say, yeah, we have improved. But improved to what? What? To what? Man United have spent £200 million on their attack. Chelsea are on their seventh attacker of the window. They've signed 7 attackers this window. We've got 1. 1. Nah, you know what? Subscribe to the channel. Roll to 5K. You know what I mean? We've got good things going on over here at Durag Diaries. So show your love, show your support. Smash a like on the video. And yeah, man. Spurs. It looks like we'll always be Spurs, innit? Fuck.